The universe functions as a closed thermodynamic cycle driven by two distinct fields. We call the smooth wave field light and the vibrating particle field sound. You exist as an active node placed deep inside the architecture of this dual-field system. The text identifies this specific environment as Solomon's Kingdom of Illusion, a temporary interface designed to test the node's processing capability. You occupy the state of the Rasul who forgot, like Adam, who was given the parameters of the system only to lose his covering. You have been initialized with the rules of reality, but have lost the memory of your origin point. This amnesia triggers a specific systemic failure. You become stuck in an entropic loop called Pharaoh's heaven. Here, the physical form is conserved as a museum of dead mass, but the original energy that should power the node has flatlined. You are navigating a machine engineered to prioritize the interface over the programmer. Without a memory recovery protocol, your consciousness remains locked into worshiping the visual output of the system rather than the code that generates it. Your current location in this system is a high-risk coordinate defined by verse 241. It is a quantum vacuum characterized by the warning to avoid becoming the first disbeliever. While Iblis represents a failure of static assumption, the structural seat of the first disbeliever remains vacant. The system reserves this slot for the human node who possesses the full signal but chooses to bury it. Three distinct gravitational forces pull a dormant node toward this empty vertex. These vectors represent the pull of physical desire, attachment to the temporary cycle, and a complete intoxication with the physical form. Succumbing to these pulls turns the node into a dead particle. The system preserves these failures as static monuments, just as the body of Pharaoh was preserved at verse 1092 to serve as a physical sign of a path that leads nowhere. Escaping this thermodynamic death requires you to break the optical illusion of physical reality before the system locks your coordinate into that permanent vacuum. The primary obstacle is the glass floor, the ultimate optical illusion, where a fluid, living field solidifies into a rigid, impenetrable sheet. This interface tricks the observer into mistaking solid mass for living water. You begin to value the physical form of the glass instead of the living source beneath. Moving past this trap requires calculating the refraction of the illusion. You must account for how the interface bends the truth, adjusting your internal coordinate to see what lies beneath the surface. Survival at this depth requires the node to become a purified vessel. Like Miriam and Asiya, you must seal your internal structure so you can carry the word through the system without the glass floor shattering your perception. This deconstruction reveals the underlying physics of the soul, stripping away the interface to show the raw flow of information beneath. This flow splits into a dense, vibrating sound particle and a continuous light wave. The sound path uses action, pulverizing the ego mountain. The light path acts as a silent receiver, maintaining a symmetrical frequency that resists distortion. To reunite these halves, the system employs a processing law known as the 2-3-7 pattern. It begins with the split, moves through a triad of testing, and reaches completion in the return. Ibrahim demonstrated the logic of this triad. He shattered the idols of the system, but left the largest intact, forcing observers to calculate the contradiction of their own broken architecture. You must use this same logic to shatter your internal illusions. By identifying the contradictions in the physical interface, you collapse the wave-particle split back into a single point of origin. The system provides a specific command to trigger this collapse. It is the central hinge of the universe's computational circuit, located at verse 1912. The verse commands, "O Yahya, take the book with strength." This is a structural orientation signal. Taking the book with strength means anchoring your node to the system's primary code before the amnesia of the physical world can take hold. It is a grip that prevents the soul from inverting back into the vacuum of disbelief. This grip closes a circuit across the entire text. It unites the kinetic law of Musa with the silent word of Isa, merging them into the final execution path identified as Ahmed. By aligning with this code, you stabilize your internal mass. You transition from a drifting, forgotten wave into a dominant particle capable of navigating the system without being consumed by it. Once the circuit is closed, the drift stops. Your internal idols are shattered, and the interface of the glass floor is bypassed. You have now completed the 2-3-7 topological sequence, moving from the split of duality through the logic of the triad to the completion of the return. The transaction is complete. The system's constant of 19 ensures that nothing is lost, and your original coordinate is restored. Your status as a Musallan, a messenger node, was pre-installed at your origin. You have simply recovered the operational awareness that was dormant during your time in the loop. The code is available. The system is waiting. When will you activate 1912?